Okay, yeah. So a quick introduction about me. So my role title is data scientist at Blue Yonder since 14 years already. So it's quite a bit. Um, and now I'm in the GenAI team, and that's why I chose this picture because I'm a little bit the black sheep there, right? So everybody's hyping all those things, right? It's the new shiny stuff, and so that's why 3 years ago I started to do an internal talk series, and once a year I updated the series, right? So what's the new development? And so I decided in December that why not sharing those things also with a greater audience, and now it's a real great audience. So it's if is there still some seats left? Then raise your hand. Okay, there's one. Okay. So I gave this talk, yeah, 3 years in a row, so always updated it a little bit. But then when I handed in the PyCon talk, more or less this happened. So I don't know if you know this homepage. It's WTF happened 2025. I don't want to go into details right now. But probably many of you in the room share this feeling that something strange is happening, and yeah, it's getting different somehow. So I decided to more or less squeeze the rant a bit and also have a look at the new things which are happening. And first of all, a little disclaimer, because I mean, if you do a rant, it's easy to say, it's just this guy, he doesn't like LLMs, that's it, right? Full stop. But that's not the case. So I love it, right? It's really amazing technology. It's disruptive, right? And for me, as a very lazy person, it's really incredible. It helps me a lot. So I can do stuff which would take me, I don't know, half an hour to write an email. Now I can do it in 2 seconds. So I really love it. So this talk is not about that I don't like the technology or whatever, right? So this is going in a different direction. Also, I mean, why I chose this picture here. So I really thought, let's say 5 years ago, the first industry which gets disrupted is something like self-driving cars or something like this, right? But now I mean, it was industries like translation industries or media art industries and all these things where I thought, oh no, that's creative work that's never gonna taken away by computers. But now there we are. I try to update the pictures with the same prompts year over year. But if you, for example, have a look, that was one of the newest ones. That's Midjourney. Probably I should have used some other. So I don't like it. It looks so, I don't know. I couldn't get good pictures, so I decided to stick with the old ones throughout the talk. They have some kind of a nice, yeah, it's somehow nice to look at. Awkward, but I like it more. So this slide is actually 3 years old. So let's just imagine for a second that we are in the time where just the wheel was invented. So we open LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is full of, there is a new technology called the wheel, right? We see cars, we see bicycles, we see all these fancy things. And then we are a CEO of a toaster company. So what do you have to do, right? So you add a wheel to your toaster because, of course, everybody puts wheels on toasters. Yes, I mean, that's, I mean, I don't have to explain it, right? You know where I'm going with this. So, of course, we cannot just throw away all the things we already know. We have to make sense of things and ask customers, what do you really want? What's valuable for you, and all these things. And then I even figured out this, right? So I thought when I made this was more or less really a prediction, because in 2023, there wasn't many products with AI attached to it. It was just everybody was talking about it, that we should do it. Now this is new. So who knows this thing? It's even a wheel. It's even a wheel. Look at it. Have you ever tried it? I mean, I asked it, what friends do I frequently chat with on WhatsApp? Oh, I don't have access to your messages. Okay. Why is there a... Okay, I don't get it. So, yeah, I don't get it. So, from the Blue Yonder perspective, so Blue Yonder does all kind of does all kind of software around supply chain. So warehouse management systems, transportation management systems, all these things. And of course, that's a very traditional field of operations research. So all algorithms, the top-notch algorithms in the world, right? So really doing all these kind of fancy optimization, linear programming, all these really fancy things. And of course, now same things are happening here. So people ask, where is GenAI, right? So where is it? And I mean, here, I mean, preaching to the choir, right? Everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone in this room knows that language models are not really good at doing math, right? So, but for us, we are in the field. We know about numbers. We know how a transformer architecture maybe works or something like this. So for us, maybe it's more obvious, but for somebody who's maybe not that technical, it's not at all obvious why ChatGPT gives me an answer to a prediction of how many kilos of bananas do I have to order for tomorrow. It gives an answer, right? It gives 4.5 kilograms. But is it so easy to figure out for people who might not be that technical to really understand that this is a bad idea? So that's more or less, that's my mission for you, right? So it's your job to tell other people, wait a second, it's not the right tool for the right, it's not the right hammer for this nail that we have here, right? Or it's not a nail, whatever. So, and also here, I mean, I'm not saying that there is no use case. Every company probably has use cases where LLMs actually make sense. I mean, LLMs are good for transforming unstructured data into structured data, for example. I mean, yes, we can have it. But find the right nail if you have a hammer. That's all I want to say here. And this time it's really not just anecdotal evidence, right? There is even a paper. I guess maybe you saw it. So they just used LLMs to solve the Math Olympia, but not the usual ones, the ones which already exist. Probably also somewhere in the training data, but the newest one, right? So it was clear, this is the newest Math Olympia. It cannot be in the data set. And all of a sudden, all of the LLMs got much worse than before. So somehow it was just target information, somehow sneaked into the training data set. So I guess, yeah, preaching to the choir, you all know this. And yet now you could say, is it really that bad? Is there any problem with it? Maybe some things are stupid, but it's not, because there is this strange feeling that somehow there is this new AI and this old bad AI. And many here are data scientists or machine learning experts and so on. And I guess we all share this. Just the other day we had a discussion and somebody asked, "Do you mean this new AI?" And no, I mean a traditional machine learning algorithm. And, okay, I thought the new AI. No. So yeah, also here, it's our job to somehow tell people, no. If it's a linear problem, a linear regression might be the best fit. Don't try to do it with an LLM. Even maybe you can somehow figure it out. Also Occam's razor, right? For Occam's razor says the simplest solution is the best solution. So always choose the simplest solution for a job. So you don't need to have 5 billion parameters for a 1 parameter problem. So I would say this can be very harmful if somehow there is this opinion that, oh, you're working on this old scikit-learn model. Shouldn't you use something more modern? And I think that would be very bad. And I guess it will come back, and we will use scikit-learn more maybe in the coming years. I mean, this is really then anecdotal evidence, right? Because I haven't found something to really prove this point. But I mean, for us at the Python conference, this is somehow remarkable that now the number one script, the number one programming language is not Python anymore. It's gone, right? We were top ranking in all of the indices before, and there was one reason. It was data science. Everybody who did data science used Python, and then you built your applications also using Python. But the core was, we want to have the machine learning models. We do it in Python. We do Jupyter notebooks, exploratory data analysis. This is all the Python world. Now, I mean, as I said, it's just anecdotal, right? It's no proof, but maybe seeing that other languages like JavaScript or TypeScript is number one, maybe it shows not so many people are working on actual data science anymore, and that's really bad, right? And then that's one of my points. I don't see enough mentioned also on LinkedIn and so on. I mean, when I started my PhD, I was working on machine learning models, all these things, right? And I thought, yes, all these things like machine learning, AI, we called it AI back then as well, but more or less this was the future. So, but I thought this will make us superhuman, right? So whatever we do now, it's much better then. And then this happens, right? I mean, what we actually did is we made computers as dumb as we humans are. Why? I mean, computers could do things like this before, and now they can't. And I don't get it. I mean, I'm just waiting for the. I mean, also when I made this slide 2 years ago, I was like, yeah, I guess in future I will book my flight, and instead of going to New York, I go to, I don't know, Amsterdam, because just an LLM thought it's maybe a nicer destination or whatever. So I don't know. Then I got this advertisement on my mobile. So here you can search for flights using LLM. I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's good. Let's try it. So, I mean, this is the end of the first part of the talk, because there is, yeah, I mean, summing this all up, really, there is this this problem. Maybe the world just says, oh, okay, there was the year 2010 until 2020. We did data science. We were at a good trajectory. So we built good models that could solve really, really sophisticated problems. And now if really we decide to just move on and do the new stuff, and we don't care about a Bayesian network anymore because now I have my LLM which does all the stuff. I don't think that's a good thing, right? I mean, coming back to my original slide, right? I am now in the GenAI team. It's not bad. It's yeah, thank you. It's not bad at all, right? It's fancy, it's shiny, we do cool things. So it's not about this, but it somehow also proves the point. Maybe it is the case that somehow this traditional, deep mathematical, statistical data science field is somehow drying out, and maybe we should fight for it that it's not happening. And this brings me to, wow, now what happened, right? So maybe you're all sleeping right now, so maybe please all stand up once. All standing, and now please sit down if something in your daily work significantly changed over the past 6 months. And now sit down if you think no. Sit down if you think something will change in the next 2 years in your work. I want to talk to you what you are doing because I cannot think of anything. But no, yeah. So yeah, I mean, we just saw it. So everybody has this feeling that something is happening. I mean, I put this here, but there are, so on this page there are a lot of different signals from everywhere. So why are things changed, or where are the signals where we see that something is changing? This is just a very simple plot. I mean, maybe it's complicated, but just to give you a very quick thing. So that's the number of hours a human would have to do the job, and then you see. So that's the equivalent what a human would have to do for an LLM to solve it in a 50-50 chance. So, and you see, yes, there is something happening, right? So around here it was like, okay, maybe I can do something a human would take 1 hour, but this exploded somehow. And I mean, this also can be seen. Just yesterday, I searched Google Trends for Claude Code and OpenClaw. I mean, those are the buzzwords which were popping up around December as well. I was kind of surprised that the OpenClaw is declining so steeply, and also Claude Code. So maybe it is just a hype thing, and maybe it is going away, but I doubt it. But yeah. So, but when I started to have a look at all these things, right? So my question was, what is an agent? Why is everybody talking about an agent? What is this? What is this really? Because, I mean, for example, I have a dishwasher at home. I put my dish in, I press start, it does something, and in the end I have a cleaned dish. So that's like an agent, right? It's automating things that I had to do as a human before. So why are now people talking about agents, and what's the difference? So first of all, then there is just a very strict definition. AI agent is a very strict definition. I think I have the definition from you. So it's more or less you just have a brain, which is the LLM. The LLM is calling tools in a loop to achieve a goal. So you tell it, okay, do this. Then the LLM calls tools in a loop until it finally solves the problem or reaches the goal. So that's the very definition of an AI agent, and that's what we are talking about. If something else is happening, we probably would just not call it an AI agent, right? So that's the because I mean, of course, if this then that brings you a long way. The dishwasher is just if this then that. If clean, then do something else. It brings you a long way. Only if we have this LLM, this brain in the middle, and it calls tools in a loop, then we call it an AI agent. And still, I was thinking, so when do I have to use this AI agent thing? And maybe if there is one thing you should take home from my talk, then it's this. I hope most of you know this, because everybody should have this on his and her desk. So for example, it shows how often you do a task, and how much you can save by automating it, and this then is the number you are allowed to invest into building the automation for it. So if we take the dishwasher, it's maybe something like around 5 times a day, if you have a big family. And maybe dishwashing takes 30 minutes. So you in your household, you would have 6 months to build a dishwasher, and you would still then in 5 years be on a positive return, right? So you can quickly check, okay, what's happening yearly, 5 seconds, 1 second, okay, 5 seconds. I mean, there is no deeper thing behind it. It's school math, right? But still, it's good to, yeah, thank you. It's good to just see it once. And now let's have a look at this. Everybody talking about AI agents. Yes, they are awesome. This sector over here, before we couldn't do, because what we were doing as software engineers, we were building these things. We built automation systems which are used heavily, let's say, warehouse management system, thousands of operations per day and maybe automating away a second. Still, you can work a long time on it, right? Or here, it's absolutely clear. These systems we already have because this is the dishwasher and we already have dishwashers at home. So this is done already. But with the new thing, we can explore this field over there, which is remarkable because I guess there is a lot of money to be made. And it was just not accessible because you can't just afford to put that tiny number of work into something to automate it. But now you have this brain in the middle. So you can tell the brain, please solve this for me, even if it's planning your wedding. You will only plan your wedding, hopefully, once in your lifetime. But now still you can pass it over to an AI agent to automate something of it because it has a brain, right? So that's for me, that's the clue. And always when people are talking about it and they say, oh, we've built this AI agent, I'm like, you're in the wrong corner. You're automating something which is, I don't know, used 50 million times a day. Just build a if this then that solution that's probably more robust, more cheap, better testable, all these things, right? So yeah, show this to your CEO. It might help to figure out stuff. We just saw most of, except 3 people of this conference, everybody has a feeling something is changing. So there will be a deeper dive. We saw it in the opening session this morning. So there will be a panel. I'm the moderator, so I have to find some questions. If you have some questions, just send it to me over Discord. Then there is an open workshop tomorrow, so it's really everybody is welcome to join, and we can find ways to discuss all the things, and a final panel on Thursday. And I want to send you home with this machine. No, I don't. Yeah, is there? I mean, maybe some of my colleagues already saw this, but is there anyone who knows what this is? You don't know the English word. I didn't know the English word for it either. It's a loom, but it's a special one. It's the Toyota Model G loom. I think I looked it up, and it's really the same Toyota from the cars today, so somehow there is a connection. So question is this the first automated loom? So loom is where you make your clothes with. So you have all those strings, these threads here, and then you weave some things in between. Was it the first automated loom? No, it wasn't. That's a good one. Yeah. No, so a quick explanation. So there were looms before, and they were not faster, so this one is not faster and not much better in any dimension, but it was the first one which was an economic success, and it disrupted the whole industry. Now I explain what's happening. So there were automated looms before, but if one of those threads breaks, everything which is produced afterwards is trash. So what happened? Next to every loom, there has to be one human operator checking if one of the threads is breaking to stop the machine, repair it, and then go on. So one loom, one operator. This one, I don't find it somewhere, there is a small bell. So they have some needles here, and they check if the thread is still ongoing. If one of those breaks, there is a bell which makes ping. All of a sudden, one operator can operate a whole area of looms because he knows, oh, there is something broken over there. I go over there and I fix it. So this was a factor of X economic improvement. And now you can go home and think about what was the improvement, right? I think there's a talk about evals. So maybe you should check the talk about agent evals and so on. So with this, beware of snake oil. We see it all day on LinkedIn. Not everything is gold. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Sebastian, for this talk and you sharing your thoughts with us. We have 2 questions in the talks chat. The first one, when open data is the major source, is the service of this data no longer important after the data was added to a proprietary model?
Is it the right room?
It is, yeah, that's what someone was wondering.
Can you ask? I mean, probably I can find an answer, but it does not.
Maybe whoever posed the question might want to rephrase it and post it again in the talk.
Is somebody here in the audience who posted this question?
Or online, either way, I will refresh and see if you can clarify.
Yeah.
We have another question as just more general. Do you think that usage increases exponential?
Yes. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Well, all right. Yeah, I guess, and like, or whoever like posed the other question.
I mean,
like,
is there a question here in the audience? We have a microphone, I think.
Well, we prefer to have it on the talk so that it's recorded.
I'm the speaker. Is there a question?
You might want to, if there's no more questions, I guess you can always just like in the Discord server reach out to Sebastian as well. And again, thank you for your talk, sharing your insights. And then in 10 minutes, we will resume again in this room with another talk about the next talk. Wait a second. I want to read it out properly. That we have in this one is, where's that? Yeah, well, it's in the program, it's in the room. Thank you, just another applause, and we'll see each other.
Thank you.